Hi, today I'm going to try and do something a little bit different, mainly because I don't have enough time. I've been making videos once a day, every day, kind of, in March, right? I filmed them like 20 minutes raw, so we're going to see how this works out. I'm going to do a one-take video today. I can't go on like this, guys. I don't know how people do it. Anyway, I wanted to share with you today some magazines that I've been reading lately. Specifically, magazines I've been reading lately that I think are just like really, really good. What I tend to do is like, if I want to treat myself or if I see something online, particularly around Christmas time, this was when I got these magazines, I just think it's such a treat to be able to read something that's like fairly academic, auf jeden Fall, or in every case, stimulating, really like well produced, and they always come like made with such love. Like I know the production process for two of these just purely from what I follow on Twitter and YouTube respectively, and I support that shit very much. So let's jump right in. I've got 3 magazines to share with you today. I feel like I'm doing a haul. This is lit. Okay, anyway, moving on. The first magazine I've got to show for you is a magazine called PEEPS. This is issue number 2, and I bought both issues in like a special deal for Christmas. The theme of this issue, which honestly just sets my heart ablaze here, is called Crossing Thresholds, which is so geographical in itself. PEEPS is an anthropological magazine, and I think it does a really good job at making anthropology more accessible, specifically social anthropology, not biological anthropology. But at its basis, it's human studies, right? So it's the studies of places, peoples, societies, across the world. It's like a National Geographic, but like less colonial than the National Geographic, as far less problems, I would suggest, although it follows a similar format. I'm just trying to flick through here and to find like an article that I could give you an example for, and I'm just coming to the front page of one of their features in this issue, which is Not Wanted on the Rue Saint-Denis in Paris. And this is a quick little review, I guess. Oh, what is this? This is a letter from my insurance company. Okay, it's like a look into the lives of sex workers on one of Paris's most historically sexualized streets, the processes of gentrification that go on there, and the issues thereof. Apart from that, in this issue, we also have the rights of the, oh god, I'm not going to be able to say this right, the rights of the Wanganui River, being together with strangers, all of these kind of threshold themes. And the other PEEPS issue, I can't read it from here, is equally stimulating, equally contemporary, equally geographical. It's a very, very, very good read, so I'll put the link to their website in the description. If you're interested in sociology, anthropology, comparative politics, and the like, great! I keep thinking I'm gonna like stop to like put pauses into this video, and it's like not gonna happen. So, magazine number 2, which I actually don't think will come as a surprise to a lot of people who probably watch my YouTube videos if they're on YouTube already, is Negative Feedback. This is less, I guess it is a magazine. It's definitely a zine. Oh, it's still so crisp. It's probably a zine, I guess, and it's a photography book. In this publication, we get like a mixture, I suppose, of fine art photography and maybe documentary photography, a confluence of the two. Oh my gosh, I've been reading this like this, like I just haven't wanted to crease it at all. But Negative Feedback is a fantastic YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to, and the creator, George Munsey, there is like evidently so passionate about what he does and about analogue photography. So here you'll find only analogue photography, so no digital stuff. I really enjoyed, actually the first article in this book is called Sunday El Rancho, and it's like this, wait, was it this one that I liked? I don't think it was. The one that I liked was Americana, Liam Stock. I know that like geographical studies and place studies, America often has a very like situated position in this kind of theme, but it's these looks at place, what makes a place, and like the contrasts in lives that exist across place and because of class, race. This magazine provides you with images that can often be very mundane and documentary style, but just like as if they were in a gallery, you can hold it in your hand and they conjure up questions, thoughts, images that prompt you to think much more about bigger themes. And I love photography anyway. Like I'm interested myself in analog photography. I'm not an expert. It's definitely not my life passion, but I think it's like wholesome and good and fun. And as Negative Feedback demonstrates, is still relevant in today's day and age and can still cause an impact. There's no need for digital to push it out of some symbolic social market. So negative feedback, again, I'll put links to YouTube, Twitter, and the store in the description. Would highly recommend. Last but most certainly not least, my friends, we got a chunky one. It's a magazine called Ladybeard. This is their second issue, the Mind issue. The preceding issue was called the Sex issue. And much better, oh, it's so creased because I take it with me whenever I travel places because there's just so much juicy articles in there. Rather than me describing this to you, I just want to take a bit from their very first page, which describes Ladybeard's mission. Ladybeard takes the form and format of the glossy magazine, but revolutionises the content. Mainstream media has created a culture of self-hate. It confines our gender, sexuality, dress size, pigmentation, imagination and aspirations. Ladybeard is an attempt at liberation. We platform the voices you won't hear in women's magazines, voices of people who live any and every derivation of the straight, white, cis, able-bodied ideal. Working in themed issues, we open up old topics to vital new perspectives. We are feminist, but we are not just for women. We want to play with gender, sexuality and identity rather than dictate their terms. And this begins with our name, Ladybeard. So you can see that it's kind of right up my street. It's everything that intersectional contemporary feminism should be and is, except for that, it follows a theme. It doesn't need to be this big vacuous idea. It's tied to the 100-odd pages in this book. Just stopped on one thing, so this is the Mind issue. Let's get high. Dr. Ben Cesar on the therapeutic potentials of LSD. And then it's this idea of, it's this presentation of, not alternative medicine, but new frontiers in medicine. So there's a lot of psychology in this book. Man, I'm talking so fast. There's a lot of psychology in this book, but there's also a lot of social things, and there was a really great, I'm not going to be able to find it just by flicking through, I'm pretty sure. There was another great article in here that was about, that I thought was very geographical. It's about this group in London producing alternative community centres and accommodation by appropriating old and disused mental or hospital facilities. And I was like, I see how this all fits together. So in many ways, Ladybeard also transgresses the boundaries of traditional magazine thought. Because they're appropriating this glossy magazine style, it doesn't have to be just a magazine about anthropology or a magazine about photography. In this, we've got art, we've got the social, and we've got the scientific, and interviews, and so forth, all together in these pages, where I literally... for example, art is also in there. And I can't recommend it enough. Again, links in the description. So, those are my, three... This is a bit like a haul, isn't it? I don't know. So, these are, my three magazines that I really, really would strongly recommend that you pick up if you have interest in any or all of the things that I've been talking about. If you like my channel, then you're gonna love these because my channel is so shit. And I think that's all. This was a fairly successful one take. I wonder how long it's gonna be raw. So I'll see you tomorrow.